The atmosphere on Monday Night Raw was electric, filled with celebration and excitement as members of the WWE locker room gathered to bask in Seth Rollins' recent triumph. Spirits were high, confidence was palpable, and the crowd roared with pride as Rollins stood tall, flanked by the brutal powerhouses Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, all under the cerebral command of Paul Heyman. This faction had become a dominant force, its presence casting a long shadow over the rest of the roster. For weeks, they had steamrolled through opponents with clinical precision, leaving little doubt as to who held the reins of power in WWE. But what unfolded on this particular night would dismantle that certainty in one shattering instant and change the trajectory of WWE forever. As the celebration reached its zenith, with the locker room and fans reveling in the dominance of Rollins and company, an unexpected turn of events brought the entire show to a screeching halt. The arena lights suddenly went out, plunging the stage into pitch blackness. Confused murmurs rippled through the audience, their cheers quickly turning into nervous silence. In that void of darkness, the only sound that could be heard was the slow, deliberate rhythm of a heartbeat. The moment stretched on, the anticipation swelling until it threatened to burst. And then, without warning, the haunting theme music of Roman Reigns pierced the silence. It was deeper, more menacing than ever before. Roman Reigns emerged from the shadows, a towering, foreboding figure. The tribal chief, a man who had once ruled WWE with unmatched authority, returned with a gaze that spoke volumes. But before the crowd could even process his reappearance, the unmistakable riff of Brock Lesnar's entrance theme followed. The beast incarnate stormed out, radiating raw aggression with every step he took. Shoulder to shoulder, Reigns and Lesnar advanced toward the ring, the energy in the arena shifting from festive to frenzied. Fans watched in awe, frozen in their seats, as two of WWE's most dominant forces joined ranks. These weren't rivals anymore. They were a united front, marching with the kind of synchronized fury that sends chills down spines. Scowls etched on their faces, they climbed into the ring without hesitation, and in a flash, chaos erupted. Reigns zeroed in on Braun Breaker and, with ruthless efficiency, speared him through the barricade, sending debris flying. The impact was thunderous, a statement of pure violence. Meanwhile, Lesnar seized Bronson Reed, lifting the massive man with terrifying ease before delivering a bone-shattering F5 directly onto the steel steps. The thud echoed through the arena like a death knell. Within seconds, the celebration had turned into devastation. The party was over. There was no bell, no official match, just a rampage fueled by vengeance, dominance, and something darker. Seth Rollins, once smug in his control, quickly realized the tide had turned. Attempting to retreat up the ramp, he was intercepted by Reigns wielding a steel chair. One brutal strike after another brought Rollins crashing down, his body writhing in pain as the chair clanged mercilessly against his spine. No one was spared. No one could stop them. The WWE Universe, superstars, commentators, and even the officials were all spectators to a scene of unbridled destruction. As the dust settled, bodies lay scattered and broken around the ring. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar stood tall, blood pumping, breathing heavily, their work complete, but the mystery had only just begun. In an eerie moment of symbolism, both men removed their shirts, revealing new attire beneath. Black t-shirts emblazoned with 3 bold letters, YTC. They said nothing. There were no explanations, no taunts, no boasts. Just cold silence. Reigns and Lesnar casually tossed their original shirts onto the motionless body of Seth Rollins before exiting the ring. The crowd, once deafening, was now eerily silent, processing the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. The appearance of the YTC logo ignited a firestorm of speculation. Social media exploded. Commentators tried to piece together the significance of the acronym. Was it a threat? A mission statement? A declaration of war? Some fans proposed that YTC stood for "You're totally cooked," a cruel, mocking warning aimed at anyone foolish enough to oppose them. Others speculated that it was a callback to an old phrase from their pasts, "You can't stop me." emphasizing their unmatched ferocity and dominance. Regardless of the interpretation, one truth was undeniable. The WWE had been shaken to its core. What began as a routine celebration turned into a brutal reckoning, and the architects of that chaos were none other than the tribal chief and the beast incarnate, two men with a long, tumultuous history, now seemingly aligned in purpose. Backstage, reactions ranged from awe to terror. WWE officials were reportedly blindsided by the unannounced return of Reigns and Lesnar. There were whispers that the ambush wasn't scripted, that even Paul Heyman had no idea it was coming. Cameras caught glimpses of Heyman watching from the entrance ramp during the carnage, his face an inscrutable mix of pride, fear, and disbelief. The man who had once managed both Reigns and Lesnar, who prided himself on being 10 steps ahead of everyone else, now found himself staring down the barrel of his worst nightmare. The two most dangerous men in WWE history joining forces without his counsel or consent. What's more, this wasn't just a random act of vengeance. This felt like the beginning of a movement. The debut of the YTC insignia, the surgical precision of the attack, and the calculated silence afterward all pointed to a larger agenda. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar didn't just come back to make noise, they came back to take over. For months, Paul Heyman's faction, led by Seth Rollins and powered by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, had run roughshod over the roster. They seemed unstoppable, their authority unchallenged. That illusion was obliterated in one single night. The playing field has now been violently leveled. Reigns and Lesnar have sent a crystal-clear message: the old order is dead, and the new one begins with them. The internal dynamics of WWE are now in complete flux. What does YEC stand for in its truest sense? Is it a brand, a message, a faction? Could this alliance between Reigns and Lesnar be long-term, or is it merely a temporary truce forged in mutual destruction? Are we witnessing the birth of a new power block, one that rivals and even surpasses the bloodline and the authority before them? The road to SummerSlam 2025 has instantly become one of the most highly anticipated builds in WWE history. With Reigns and Lesnar walking a path of dominance, everyone is wondering who can stand against them. Will Seth Rollins find a way to regroup? Can Heyman's faction rebound from such a devastating ambush? Or is this the beginning of their unraveling? Even more pressing, what is the real purpose of YTC? Fans around the world are speculating. Some say it could evolve into a new stable, one unlike any the WWE has ever seen, one built not just on power, but on sheer terror. Others believe it represents a mission statement, a campaign of complete domination. And then there are those who theorize YTC may be a recruitment call, an open invitation to other disillusioned or discarded warriors to join their crusade. Whatever the truth is, WWE is no longer the same. Every superstar on the roster has to reevaluate their position. Trust is shaken. Alliances are uncertain. And the sea